This show is entirely listener supported. That's you. You're listening. If you want to find out how to get bonus episodes, extra episodes, early content, all kinds of stuff, patreon.com/wehaveconcerns. Well, Lincoln Chafee is definitely creepy in a toy maker leading children into the forest sort of way.
Yeah.
Jim Webb is basically a bunch of bugs in a skin suit, like in Men in Black.
My favorite. I was laughing so hard at some of the tweets I was reading during the debates. My favorite description of Jim Webb is he has the neck rotation of the Michael Keaton Batman costume.
He really does. He really does. And he has the intensity, too.
He does.
He does. He has that first Batman movie intensity.
That part where he like literally just said, "Who's my worst enemy? The guy I killed."
He had a Vietnam flashback on stage. No one stopped it. No one stepped in. You know what's funny is somebody clearly said, "Hey, Jim, lean into the war hero thing."
Oh, yeah.
And he just has no sense of subtlety and just leaned way the fuck into it.
Yeah. He's
like, what did Jim Webb do wrong? Jim Webb did what you said.
All of his enemies. Name your worst enemies. They're all dead.
They're all dead.
All of my enemies are
And then
dead.
he just glared at Hillary Clinton. This is We Have Concerns. Hi, Jeff Canada.
Hi, Anthony Carboni.
Hello, concerned citizens. Today, a story that literally the entire Earth sent into us.
Yeah, if you're a human and on Earth, turns out you sent us this story.
Are you bipedal? What's up? This one's from you. Shout out.
Yeah, thanks a lot, everyone listening.
Well, there's a reason everybody sent this into us. This is a story about a study that supposedly proves that runner's high is exactly the same as getting high.
Super high, runner's high. Yeah, we've obviously had a ongoing debate about...
Not so much of a debate. It's more like you are incorrect about the things that you enjoy.
I think that's what makes it a debate, is that I have the opposite opinion.
Opinions can be objectively incorrect, though, Jeff. If I was to say the Earth is flat, that's my opinion.
Well...
But it's objectively incorrect. When you say that running is cool... Running is for cool people.
Yeah.
And I say that running is for dicks.
Right. That is the gist of our debate.
That's it. That's it. You say running is for cools. It's not for cools.
Yeah. Well,
Getting high is for cools,
as
Jeff,
we've discussed
and
many
they are
times.
not the same. They are not the same.
Well, so that's probably explains why so many people sent this to us. The interesting thing, too, is that it wasn't just one article. We got like 40 different articles all about this.
Well, we got the article, and then we got the BuzzFeed re-article vomit of the article. We got the Vox vomit of the article. You know, all the things where all the blogs chop up the original article.
Which isn't to say we aren't grateful that you guys are sending us stories.
No.
Are.
You guys did your job.
We did.
We're just talking more about the state of internet journalism.
Yeah. So here's the thing. These guys did a study about what creates the quote-unquote runner's high. For a long time, you've probably heard, it's your endorphins kicking in. The endorphins are making you feel great.
When you were a kid, did you picture dolphins when people said that? Like a little cartoon dolphin in your blood? That's what I pictured.
And you thought
I pictured like a little dolphins, like a little endorphins.
Dolphins, yeah, man. The endorphins kicking in.
Because dolphins are also like super happy, right? So whenever it was like you work out and you get these endorphins, I was like, I pictured them. I knew they weren't little dolphins, but that's how I pictured them because it's a nice way to picture it.
It is.
It's like,
it's beautiful.
way to go, Anthony. We're going to go rape everybody in our pod.
But I'm so tired. Don't make me run any more, Endolphin.
We're known to murder. Dolphins, look it up.
Yeah.
Anyway, we thought it was endorphins, but it turns out endorphins have been sort of like hogging the credit because nobody did any further study on this because why would you? Who cares? Who cares what happens when you run?
Well, the truth is that endorphins are very large molecules and they can't fit through the brain barrier. So
blood-brain barrier.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What I said.
Mm-hmm.
And
half of it.
Yeah. And so that couldn't create it. Maybe it could make your muscles numb your muscles, and so you don't feel muscle pain.
Yeah.
But it really couldn't create that sense of euphoria that people.
Yeah, because they're not a mental high.
Right.
And runner's high is apparently there's a part of it that is a mental high. I've never experienced it.
Neither have I.
I've experienced a lot of fucking highs in my life, Jeff Canada.
Yeah.
I tried running. I tried runner's high. It doesn't happen. You get shin splints, and maybe people are thinking that shin splints, maybe people who run because they're not
low.
because they're not cool, and they're not cool.
Yeah.
Like, and they've never gotten high. They think like maybe a high feels like shin splints or your nipples bleeding. Is that what you think getting high is, Jeff?
Every time you smoke pot, your nipples start exploding blood. Isn't that right? Isn't that the truth?
Sure.
You take one puff and then blood erupts from your nipples.
Yeah, man, whatever.
That's what I saw Nancy Reagan
By
say
the way,
in the 80s.
If you're a cop, Jeff, you have to tell me.
I have run 6 marathons.
Yeah.
And lots of other things. And I have never once experienced anything that would remotely make me feel like I had one drink of alcohol or one toke on anything. Yes, there's a point at which you get into this place where, oh my gosh, all the pain kind of melts away and I feel like I can run forever. Mm-hmm. It's like you hit a wall where the pain is super intense, and then past that wall, it's like, oh, okay, it wasn't as bad as I thought.
That's your body going into a form of shock. That's not a runner's high.
I've never experienced anything I would consider high.
Yeah, me neither. And I've done like a lot of independent study comparing the two.
Yeah.
And never has one felt like the other. But apparently in these mice, what they did is they took 2 groups, because of course it was mice.
Of course it was mice.
I'll tell you what, mice, there's a lot of bad things going on with mice in the scientific community, obviously, but they have access to all the best shit.
That's true.
If you're a lucky mouse in the scientific community, holy shit, you get stuff I can't even imagine.
Most mice live a nightmarish hellscape where parts of them are removed or rearranged, but there are a lucky few.
Hey, Wilbur.
Oh,
hey, good
Simon.
to be back good to be back in the cage with you, buddy. How you doing?
You know, I've been better. Turns out they removed all my legs.
I just know. Oh shit, dude! I just noticed. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I was staring off. I totally didn't know. You got no fucking legs, man.
Yeah, they're
That shit is crazy.
Yeah. It turns out they're in that other cage over there. They're seeing if I can still move them with my brain. Do you see the stuff that the circuit board that they put on my exposed brain?
Dude.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I can't even deal with this shit.
What's been going on with you, man?
Oh, dude, today the scientists came in and they gave me heroin.
What?
And then tried to see if my favorite color changed after I had just a lot of heroin.
Well, did it?
Oh, shit. I don't even remember, dog. I think it was always blue. It might be green.
Hey, could you just...
They're both good.
Could you just lean to the side of the cage? I'm going to try to get my one foot to come over and smack you in the face. I have to concentrate really hard.
All right.
It's slowly crawling across the cage.
I'm having a hard time standing anyway. I'm sure you can relate to that. I am so fucked up.
Please, if you get any saliva near my exposed brain, it could be fatal. So please just don't sneeze or cough or shout.
It's kind of sick that you're a cyborg though, dude.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
You're pretty sweet. I'd give you a high five, but anyway, I got a nap for 15 or 16 hours. I've had a rough day.
I hate you.
So they took 2 groups of mice, and they decided what? One group of mice was going to have... We have these things in our brain called endocannabinoids.
Right.
We make them.
The scientists refer to them as your brain's version of marijuana.
I mean, fine. For a New York Times article, fine. Yes.
Okay.
Cannabinoids. THC, marijuana, cannabinoids, all in the same family. It's not just marijuana. It's not directly it's not your brain doesn't make pot. Like, let's...
Why is there not already a band called the Cannabinoids?
I have to imagine there is, and I just don't know.
All right, but maybe we should look them up. I bet they rock.
I feel like there's an art school somewhere where the endocannabinoids
are opening.
It's either an art or an engineering school. It's one of those schools for really, really super smart kids.
Yeah.
Where you like make up your own curriculum because it's just like, you were going to write a 40-page report anyway.
Yeah.
Like, fine, go, do whatever you want. Just check in with a teacher every 3 weeks.
Leave for endocannabinoid practice later.
I tell you, I went and visited one of those schools. I never went to one of those schools.
Yeah.
But
which school?
It's Ringling.
What? Like a clown school?
Not the clown school, but it's no. There's Ringling College of the Arts, and then there is a school that's like an independent study school in North Florida.
It was like that one really smart Ringling brother.
Yeah.
Like he's like, I'm not one of the brothers. I'm not one of the actual brothers. I am I'm a brother.
Yeah.
I'm a Ringling brother technically because they are my brothers.
He's the Ringling brother. He's the one that handled the business. He was the silent partner doing the accounting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody else is like swinging from a trapeze, and he's just like, I found out that if we shrink the size of the popcorn bags by 3%, we can save $13,000 over the course of a year. And people
that sounds
are just
great, Morgan.
Stop! Don't pull out the seltzer. I swear to God, if you pull out, God damn it!
Oh, hey, Morgan. Looks like the pie's on your
Why
face.
do you make us vote on these things when you guys don't get... I'll be in my tent. Yeah, so there's an independent like liberal arts school where these kids just like, they were just so brilliant that they were like, I want to study the graphic arts, but I want to make a graphic novel about Charlemagne as he relates to modern jazz.
Just turn it in by the end of the semester.
Yeah, exactly. And those kids were on drugs all the fucking time. The most brilliant kids just on drugs all the time. I'm sure there was a band there called the Endocannabinoids. And I'll tell you what, when I went and I visited that school, it made me wish that I had, well, not that I hadn't stayed at home and done drugs all through high school, but that I had somehow done drugs all through high school and showed up the way those kids did.
Yeah.
Because that was amazing. I was just like, wow.
Yeah, there are kids that are so gifted that they can just ruin their lives and also score better than you on the SATs.
It's like, fuck those kids. I don't want to talk about those kids anymore. But basically, yes, endocannabinoids, so our body makes them.
They took these mice, and what they did was they separated the mice into the ones that tended to run a lot and enjoyed running. They would run for no reason. They'd get on the wheel in their cage and they'd run. And these mice, after they ran, it seemed like they were more tranquil. They would go to the sunnier spots of their cages.
It was really weird. After they ran all day, they wanted to sit down. It was so crazy. And the scientists noticed that, and they said, there's science to be done.
Right. So what they did was I
think there's a connection.
They took these mice and they figured out a way to block the endocannabinoid distribution in their brain. And then they had them do the same behavior. And it turns out they didn't want to run anymore. They didn't enjoy it because the endocannabinoids weren't releasing any kind of, or at least their what they decided happened. What the fucking word I want? Their conclusion was that the mice were no longer getting the endocannabinoid response, and so were not into running anymore. So ergo, that must be what happens, and that must be runner's high.
Okay, fine. I mean, it sounds like, I do get the idea of your brain creating endocannabinoids after you've run for a really long time, because you're in pain. And as we know, like marijuana is, medical marijuana is mostly prescribed for pain management.
Right.
It's also prescribed for Rick and Morty marathons.
Yes.
I went to my doctor and I was like, I'm going to rewatch season 1 today. And he was like, here you go.
Yeah.
Here's what's best for that.
It's like, I'm going to write you this prescription. Just notice on my wall my diploma from that sweet school that let me do my own curriculum.
I did notice that. From North Florida. I've been there.
Yeah.
It's got a little picture of a clown on it.
Oh, that's one of the brothers.
Meanwhile, back in 1946, I'll tell you fuckers what. You guys are constantly hitting me with pies and whoopee cushions and seltzer. And you know what? I've been socking my money away. Your legacy is going to be that you're a bunch of goddamn fools. My legacy is going to be one of brilliance and teaching people and making them learn.
Oh, Morgan. Well, you don't know anything. Everybody will remember some of the Ringling Brothers.
That's a real dick thing to say from a guy in a horn nose.
Yeah. Guys, how come nobody talks about the Ringling sister?
Because it's 1947, and we're not ready to admit how much you do yet.
All right, well,
I'm sorry to get deadly serious in a clown meeting, but that's the real state of the world right now. We're all back from the war, honey. A lot of dark history.
Yeah.
A lot of dark history in the circus. Yeah. So fine. I understand why the body would do this. I understand why your brain would do this. It's more of a pain management thing than a getting high thing, than a getting stoned thing, it seems like. But also, can we talk about how much these mice had to run to release enough endocannabinoids to feel a high?
Yeah, it said they averaged 3 miles.
This is not mouse miles. That's
a human, 3 human miles.
They ran 3 miles. Have you seen how small mice are, motherfucker?
Yeah, they're much smaller than humans.
They're way smaller than humans. That's a fact.
Yeah.
That's something that those scientists probably noticed as well.
I don't know the math on that, but it's a lot more than 3 miles.
I'm at least 4 mice high. I don't go outside. I don't like animals.
Yeah.
Judging from illustrations I've seen of a mouse, number one, they're fucking terrifying. And number two, I'm bigger than most mice. So 3 miles for a mouse is a lot.
Yeah.
What do you want to say? You want to say that's like running 27? You want to say that's a marathon? You want to say that's a marathon for mice?
We're basing that on just nothing.
I'm basing it on absolutely nothing.
It's a long way. It's a long way.
If you shrink me down to a mouse size, number one, fucking badass.
Congrats on you for doing that.
That's some real like borrowers, the witches, Ralph S. Mouse shit, and I am into it. Number two, I think it would be about a marathon.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. It's a long way.
It's a long way. Nobody to work out to get in shape is going to run that much. You certainly...
some people.
I mean, but you're working your way up to that.
Right.
You don't run it every day.
Right.
That's not part of your daily workout. So you're not experiencing a runner's high. And dude, you've run a marathon. You're not feeling high after that marathon. The endocannabinoids are not the things that you feel.
Right.
You feel like you're going to collapse and vomit.
That's true.
That's not
necessarily in that order, but yes.
That's also the way you feel if you smoke any pot, though.
Me personally, yes.
So you're not a great subject.
Maybe it all is the same.
It's the same. My nipples started bleeding, just like my drug dealer said they would.
It's like when I smoked pot, that eruption of blood that happened.
So I mean, this is like, I feel like to me, this is like when they said chocolate is an aphrodisiac, and then they said, asterisk, you would have to eat 37 pounds of chocolate.
Right.
And at that point, you're not noticing that you're feeling horny. You're noticing that you want to die.
Yeah, you're collapsing and throwing up, and your nipples are exploding with blood.
I don't know if that still happens in that case.
I think that if you do a lot of anything, those are the 3 things.
Those are the 3 things that happen.
Yeah.
I think if you do any strenuous labor,
right,
immediately your nipples start bleeding.
If you think too hard,
yeah,
don't do that.
I was doing the SATs. No, I'm sorry. It was the PSATs.
Oh.
It was the PSATs, and I was really stressed out.
P stands for pointless.
It stands for, and I just immediately started, I forgot to wear my nipple guards. My rash guards.
You never go into the PSATs without nipple guards.
You know what it is I didn't get to go to like one of those Kaplan test preparedness centers.
Well, that's the first thing they do is they hand out little Band-Aids. But you can get by with just Scotch tape in a pinch.
In a pinch, huh?
Yeah. If a PSAT breaks out and you need to take it and you don't have any Band-Aids.
I handed you that one on a plate and you didn't go there.
And it pinched your nipples?
There you go.
Yeah.
I gave it to you.
You did.
I gave you one and you didn't take it. I should be able to subtract 3 from you.
I don't like the easy ones.
Really?
I mean, I do.
Really?
I don't like the ones you give me.
Heaven forbid we should set each other up.
Yeah, that would be like what a real comic duo would do. What do you think? Do you think this is bullshit? Do you think
I don't think it's
bullshit.
I don't think it's bullshit. I think it's an overstatement. Like you're saying, I think runner's high is mostly fictional.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
I really think it is. I think what it is when you do run and you're used to running every day and then you don't run, your body feels sluggish, right? Like your body gets used to the amount of activity that you do every day.
Right.
When I went to New York, for a week, came back. I've been sick this week. I haven't done any exercise.
Right.
I feel really sluggish and terrible, right? I feel out of shape. The next time I work out, that's runner's hangover. The next time I work out, I'll feel normal again.
Yeah.
Right? I'll feel more like myself. In comparison, that probably feels like a high. Right? I think that's more what's going on with runner's high. That plus the endorphins giving you kind of that physical tingle like you're talking about.
Yeah.
I doubt there's this high. I mean, I'm sure it is connected, but I doubt that's what most people are experiencing.
Yeah, I agree. I would love to talk to somebody that actually claims to experience something they would call runner's high, because, like I said, I've run a lot.
Kick those people in the face for lying.
Yeah, they would just giggle and laugh.
Because running is for dicks.
No,
it's for dicks, dude.
It's actually a very healthy thing to do.
No, it's not. We've disproven that too. It's not
my knees argue differently.
Yeah, it's not super healthy over time. It does not get you high unless you run a marathon all the time. Like, why are you running, dog?
It's to get away from stuff now at this point. It's to get away from this discussion.
I run to avoid things like nature intended. That's why I run.
Exactly. We evolved.
Predators.
Yeah.
Stress. My own family. I run.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about this? Do you experience a runner's high?
I would love to hear from somebody that genuinely feels high. Like that is such an odd descriptor for me.
Yeah. You can let us know on Twitter. I'm at @acarboni.
I'm at Jeff Cannata.
And you can hashtag those legless mouse.
Yeah.
And hey, you guys, last week we had Allie Gertz on the show. Is making a Rick and Morty album. She's a very awesome creative person. We've had a lot of awesome creative people on the show. And if you are one of our patrons, you get a bonus episode with those people.
Bonus double-length episode.
Yep. And patrons have unlimited access to those. We give them a lot of extra content as well. To find out how you can get early episodes and more bonus content, head to patreon.com/wehaveconcerns. It is the only way we support this show.